have guests, and more coming every minute." "Who came in the ward car?" Elaine asked. "Rovard Grauphus, and Otto Harkonnen. You never met him, did you, Lucas?" "No, not by introduction. I'd like to, before he spaces out." He had nothing against Harkonnen personally, only against what he represented. "Is the Duke coming?" "Oh, surely. Lionel of New Haven and the Lord of Northport are coming with him. They're at the palace now." Carval hesitated. "His nephew's back in town." Elaine was distressed. She started to say, "Oh dear, I hope he doesn't." "Has Dunnan been bothering Elaine again?" "Nothing to take notice of. He was here yesterday, demanding to speak with her. We got him to leave without too much unpleasantness." "It'll be something for me to take notice of, if he keeps it up after tomorrow." For his seconds, and Andre Dunnan's that was. He hoped it wouldn't come to that. He didn't want to have to shoot a kinsman to the House of Ward, and a crazy man to boot. "I'm terribly sorry for him," Elaine was saying. "Father, you should have let me talk to him. I might have made him understand." Cesar Carval was shocked. "Child, you couldn't have subjected yourself to that. The man is insane." Then he saw her bare shoulders and was even more shocked. "Elaine, your shawl!" Her hands went up and couldn't find it. She looked about in confused embarrassment. Amused, Lucas picked it up from the shrub onto which she had tossed it and draped it over her shoulders, his hands lingering briefly. Then he gestured to the older man to precede him, and they entered the arbored walk. At the other end, in an open circle, a fountain played, white marble girls and boys bathing in the jade-green basin. Another piece of loot from one of the old Federation planets. That was something he'd try to avoid in furnishing Traskin Newhouse. There'd be a lot of that coming to Graham after Otto Harkonnen took the Enterprise to space. "I'll have to come back sometime and visit them," Elaine whispered to him. "They'll miss me." "You'll find a lot of new friends at your new home," he whispered back. "You wait till tomorrow." "I'm going to put a word in the Duke's ear about that fellow," Cesar Carval, still thinking of Dunnan, was saying. "If he speaks to him, maybe it'll do some good." "I doubt it. I don't think Duke Angus has any influence over him at all." Dunnan's mother had been the Duke's younger sister. From his father, he had inherited what had originally been a prosperous barony. Now it was mortgaged to the top of the manor house aerial mast. The Duke had once assumed Dunnan's debts and refused to do so again. Dunnan had gone to space a few times as a junior officer on trade and raid voyages into the old Federation. He was supposed to be a fair astrogator. He had expected his uncle to give him command of the Enterprise, which had been ridiculous. Disappointed in that, he had recruited a mercenary company and was seeking military employment. It was suspected that he was in correspondence with his uncle's worst enemy, Duke Omfrey of Glaspeth. And he was obsessively in love with Elaine Carval, a passion which seemed to nourish itself on its own hopelessness. Maybe it would be a good idea to take that space trip right away. There ought to be a ship leaving Biglersport for one of the other sword worlds before long. They paused at the head of the escalators. The garden below was thronged with guests, the bright shawls of the ladies and the coats of the men making shifting color patterns among the flower beds and on the lawns and under the trees. Serving robots, flame yellow and black in the Carval colors, floated about playing soft music and offering refreshments. There was a continuous spiral of changing costume color around the circular robo-table. Voices babbled happily like a mountain river. As they stood looking down, another air car circled low. Green and gold, lettered Pan-Planet News Service. Cesar Carval swore in irritation. "Didn't there used to be something they called privacy?" he asked. "It's a big story, Cesar." It was. More than the merit.